Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of my YouTube channel. I'm Jake Fryman, a realtor with Keller Williams Community Partners. For this week's episode, I am going to be talking about the current state of the market, where we are with things, looking at kind of the real estate economy right now and where we're headed, where we are, that sort of thing. So you've probably seen some things going on right now in the news about inflation, interest rates, all of that stuff. So just a little bit about how that might be affecting the real estate industry. Interest rates are going up a tick. We've noticed that a little bit. You're starting to see rates increase for everyone. Still historically low though. I mean, we're talking like they were in the threes and now they're in the mid threes. Just to give you some context, in the 80s, they raised interest rates to 16% to combat inflation. I doubt they do that now anytime soon. So rates are still historically low. But as far as impact on the market, not much is changing at the moment because supply is very, very low relative to demand. There just are not enough houses out there to match all of the demand that we are seeing from buyers and other consumers. So unfortunately, rates are going up a tick, but they're still very low, but demand is still there. So this is still a really great time if you are looking to sell, because this is probably the time when you can get the most for your house. Might stay that way for the next couple years, who knows? It's really tough to tell. I mean, no one truly knows what it's going to look like going forward, but for the immediate future though, if you have been thinking about selling and you have an option for a new home, now's probably a good time to cash in on all that equity you have built up in your home as you look to move or go somewhere else. So that's just something to think about. If you're a buyer, it's rough out there right now. It's definitely rough. There's a lot of low inventory. It's tough to find that perfect house for you. But with those rates, you can get a lot of house for whatever you do buy. You get a lot of equity in it because of the low interest rate that you're paying. So it's kind of a give and take thing right now. Not much is changing yet, but we're seeing things, I think we're seeing some things on the horizon. The Fed has said that they will be raising interest rates at several points this year to combat all that inflation. Probably necessary for the good of the economy, but it does reduce your borrowing power, of course. But rates will still be decent and a very good range. Biggest thing is going to be inventory though. We'll see what happens in the next few months. Will people start listing their houses more? Will we start to see some more new home construction help to even out that supply and demand? Hopefully we can get caught up. There's a lot of factors going on with new builds too, with the reduction in available supplies, things like that. It all builds up to a really bad tipping point for buyers right now. But hopefully something will break there and we'll see some changes down the pike. But for now, if you're thinking of selling, I would advise you to go ahead and list it now while you can get the most equity for your house. And if you are buying, if you're able to compromise, find something, whatever you can do to try to get into a house now, you would get a very good interest rate compared to what you might see later on this year. But if you do have to wait until later this year, you'll still get a pretty good rate, and you'll still have, if you could find a good house, you'll have a lot of equity in it thanks to your low rate. Hope you learned something this week. Hope this was helpful. Be sure to check in each week around this time for another episode where I provide some useful hints on the real estate industry, the market, things like that. Hope this was helpful for you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. Have a good one.